fiery topics with Chats Up, Chats Up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to YouTube. Follow on Facebook and IG. See you at the palace. Welcome to the Pink Palace, episode 9.
I was like, what number am I on? I got something in my hand, so it's episode 9.
Episode 9, we're coming to you unscripted. Never know what we're going to say, just know what we're going to talk about. We got that good chat topic for you today. We are sitting with financial coach and tax preparer today. We'll get them to introduce themselves in a little bit. But we want to get you straight and get those financial situations under control. Get that stimulated. You know what I mean? Yes.
I heard it. I got a little note. She's giving me the side.
I am. And I pour my Pepsi.
No. And she gave me ice today, y'all, because she showing up for our company.
Yeah. We're going to act like we're fully equipped in the palace.
Yeah, we're going to act like we're in the building. An actual building.
Yes.
Make sure they had the palace chairs.
Mm-hmm. We're not going to give you that beautiful musical intro we normally do on a regular because we got a lot to cover. We want to get it all in. We're going to have our first guest of the palace. Welcome.
A round of applause.
Have them introduce themselves to you all. And we have a mini guest, so if you hear something, mind your business.
Mind your business, okay? We are Yummylicious parents, and we
gotta do what we gotta do.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
All right, so we're gonna start to the far right. We have financial coach Adrian. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit.
Yes. Well, I am Adrian Henley. Hello, all. I am Adrian Henley. Hello, all. I am a financial coach by day. I am a mommy and a wife by day and night, noon and day, throughout the night. I have expertise in financial getting your money right, basically. I have been at this now for almost 8 years. And so I have a lot of information. I want to share a lot of information, but I'm not going to take it all. Here's my husband, Jamar.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jamar Henley. I'm a tax prep. I've been a prep for taxes for 14 years. I'm certified through the IRS as well. I'm a full-time staff supervisor at a local group home. I'm a full-time father, full-time husband. Used to be a coach, but not a coach no more. But I do it all.
Once a coach,
always a coach.
Yes,
that's what
exactly.
You the coach of life, right?
Yeah.
And then we talking about finances right now. So you, the coach, is telling people, okay, I need that receipt and I need that receipt.
Yes.
And this is the play. This is how we gotta do it, right? So once a coach, always a coach.
So we're gonna kick it off. You know, it's me, your girl Noonie, and
Shima.
you know what we do. So I got a couple of this is still March. It is still Women's History. So I got a couple of Black women financial facts going on up in the down around here for the people.
Bougie. She got her cards ready.
I got my note cards.
Yeah, we said it was unscripted. Yeah,
it's not a script.
She got her notes ready.
Anywho, so we got one. We got Maggie Walker, which was the first Black woman to Carter and serve as president of the bank in Richmond in 1903.
Yes.
Hometown, born and raised. Then, I can't read my own writing. Then we got Lily St. John, was the first Black woman to pass the New York Stock Exchange exam for financial advisors in 1953. At the age of 25, we got Valerie Mosley, founder and CEO of Volume Ventures of global investments firm. she held major roles on Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
All of these I read about has touched Wall Street in some type of way. 4, we got Melody Hobson. She began her career as an intern in Chicago. Now is the first black woman in 2017 to head the Economics Club of Chicago. Go, girl, go.
Yes.
5, we got Clara Harris, Vice Chairman, Managing Director, and Senior Client Advisor at Morgan Stanley, appointed by President Obama. So she got her chair ranked. 6, Edith Cooper played a major role in forming, hiring, practicing to improve diversity for us all.
You got 10 of them?
7, yep, Susan Shank, that's why I'm going fast. Susan Shank, I want these ladies to be known.
Yes.
Susan Shank, she's currently CEO and chairwoman of Shebert Cisneros Shank and CEO, one of the biggest black-owned banks. Get your money right, go get your black-owned banks. Then we have 8, Rachel Oden. She started in Wall Street, served as head of advisor of strategic development, where she was responsible for hiring and training over 14,000 financial advisors for her firm in diversity.
Wow.
Then we have 9, Sandra Brown Duckett. Came from poverty. She had nothing. She worked her way up and now is the CEO of Chase Commerce Banking.
Woo!
And lastly, Lauren Simmons, at the age of 22, became the youngest trader at the New York Stock Exchange and the only woman to hold that seat.
Wow.
Give it up for our sisters. Yes, women. Yes. So like we said, we coming to you. We're talking about finances. So let me come out of character. Get back into my other character. So now I can't see nobody. So
She's seeing rings.
So tell us how you would financially coach someone coming to you.
Like me.
Like you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for those facts. Because I knew maybe 6 out of the 10, but I had no idea how many more trailblazers there were that I am admiring number one, their bravery, because of, what women have to go through. But it's inspiring because they didn't stop. And the financial world is tough. And it's a lot when you're climbing that ladder. So thank you for those facts, because I can now add them to more value to what it is that I do.
It's a circle.
Yes, absolutely. And so the way that I help any individual that comes to me is I meet you where you are. And so I understand that everybody is not in the same position financially or even mentally. And so let's say if you were coming to me as a first-time student, because I have students, I do not call them clients. Everyone is a student. They're in class to learn, just like we learned in school. They made us come, but y'all will want to come to my class because I make learning fun. This isn't something that we got in school. They touched on it. We may have had a few economic classes, but they taught us more of what we didn't really need. And so we came out with those things that we really didn't need, and we didn't have what we needed to really live this thing called life.
So if I'm coming to you, average Joe, coming to you as me.
That's what I said.
Coming to you as me, I'm coming in, I'm like, I have all of these big hopes, all of these big dreams, I want to do this, but I just don't know where to start. What is my starting point?
First, I take you back to childhood.
Okay.
I want to know, what did you learn about money when you were coming up?
Get it.
Get it.
Spend it.
Spend it. Okay.
Yeah. Like I grew up with not doing the credit card thing. I grew up if I didn't have cash, I didn't need it or I couldn't afford it. That's how I was born and raised. Like I did not do the credit card thing at all. So still now at 43, I have not gotten a credit card. I need one.
Yeah.
But I haven't got one because I can't get myself out of that mindset that cash isn't the way all the way. So I still have to balance that, like, And as far as my upbringing, my thing is just get money, more money, just build. But I didn't have the mindset to build for what.
Right.
And that
What am I acquiring?
that's what I
it
had to
for?
learn growing up.
Okay. What about you? What did you learn
And
about money?
for me, we didn't learn nothing about money. I mean, my mother was a single mother, so she worked. My mother had multiple jobs, but she never really sat down and said, "Save this," or "Put this away," or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. I got into trouble, and probably still in a little bit of trouble with credit cards.
Okay.
And I wish I didn't never get any credit cards. Like now I'm teaching my kids. Like my oldest daughter, she like, nope, I ain't got no credit card. I don't want no credit card. So I'm putting that on her, but I still, and making sure they save a little money when they're, when they get their first job and things like that. But growing up, no, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I learn it as I go. I think I did pretty all right, not knowing really much.
Yeah.
But now when you want to get into businesses and you want to do things and you realize like you need you want to buy a house and you need all of this financial background or you need collateral and those different type of things, it's like I don't have that. I don't
Like, and I'm here now, so how do I
get that?
Right.
Like, now I'm 40 now. It's almost feel like you start in
Like you
backtracking.
backtrack.
You backtrack.
Like you're backtracking.
Yeah.
So what is it, ladies, that you wish you would have learned that you didn't learn?
Invest.
And
Investment.
that's the because
I
what I'm getting ready to say, right?
I went from learning how to do my cash flow on a day to day, but without thinking large. And I wish I had a larger mindset. Because if I knew what I know now, I would be a beast in the world. You hear me? Like, I wouldn't die this because I wouldn't be great. Like, I would be a beast beyond a beast. So I'm trying to set my 3 up to try to have that mindset. Like, what I didn't know at their age, I want them to know. And I want them to see me, grow and apply when I'm teaching them as well.
Right.
So, I wish.
Yeah. I always say, she got me feeling self-conscious because I always say, I'm from New York.
I told you, do you? Where you from? She's like, New York. New York City.
But I remember, like, years ago, they were selling these brownstones for like $1. Like, I remember the conversation.
My goodness.
And I didn't know then what I knew now. If like my mother didn't know that, like it was like how you hear adults talking and you hear something, and I didn't know, like if I knew something, like we could have put money together. I'm pretty sure it was more to it, but essentially it was like they were selling brownstones for like $1. Imagine how much you could have now.
Yeah.
Considering what they doing to these brownstones in New York City and on these blocks and how they wanted to just they tore a lot of them down and they were just like vacant lots. But things like that, I wish I knew more, had more insight of different type, because I wasn't like young, I probably was in my teens, pre-teens, 17, 18. So, I feel like knowing that now, like my daughter is 22, she could have had her brownstone. Like if that was happening today, I would have let's go get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So just missing those, what seemed kind of like minor back then, or maybe not as much of an interest.
Yeah.
Because we really didn't know that was something that we should have been interested in. But knowing now what you know and moving forward, who's helping you guys? Like know what you know today, but like who's helping you move forward in that financial journey? Have you heard somebody say TikTok? They were like, oh, TikTok, they teaching me stuff. So the internet.
Yeah,
right.
The internet.
Like, because you think about something and be like, oh, wait a minute, let me look that up and let me,
Yeah. Another one I've heard is a lot of people are saying, well, I Google everything, but, the 401k lady came to my job. Yep. And you probably saw her one time, set you up, and you don't know what you're doing.
And that was like years ago because they don't even do that now. Like it's a piece of paper. Like I don't think anybody
like at the hiring process, Like we had Aflac, the rep from Aflac come in, and she was giving us this, and you're gonna say this, you're gonna do this. She was just throwing numbers. I'm like, oh yeah, sign me up. But by the time I walked to that table, I said, hold on, cause you was giving me too much good information. Let me sit and rewind. So you gotta kind of watch who try to guide you because they got to do their job. They got to make most time
It's like
a
commission.
They got to get that. They got to get that quota. So I'm like, give me that information, and I'm still gonna read it myself. I'm still gonna look over, and that's a practice a lot of people have to get in. We get those long lists of paper, and we just be like, that's good to be. Let's write. I don't. You gotta get yourself out of that mindset. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna ask this person who has it. I'm gonna ask this person, somebody that's not gonna benefit from my sale.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot. What a lot of people need to learn how to do their own.
Yeah.
I mean, don't knock people to have their hustle that's in that field because they're there for a reason. They know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you still have to watch out for yourself.
You sure do. Yeah, and you'll hear the genuineness, or you should hear the genuineness from the person, that you're not just another dollar sign for them,
Right.
but that they genuinely want to help you so that you can move on and get educated and, like you said, pass it to the next generation. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of my background story, which shaped me, because I'm going to tell y'all, I ran from finances, okay? I was the young girl, and I don't know who can relate to this, but I was the young girl who was scared of money. The reason I was scared of money and did not want to have money was because of my upbringing. Auntie and uncle would have the house parties, and everybody would come over, and you would see all of the money on the table from a card game. And from that card game, they be joking and laughing in the beginning. But when somebody then messed up a suit, a book, or a 21 blackjack, they would get the fussing and cussing at each other. You gonna pay me my money?
Right.
I'm like, oh no, I don't want none of that green stuff. Because it made families in my little world, it made families be torn apart.
Right. What they say, money could be the root of all evil.
Yeah, the love of money is the root of all evil. And so my little eyes at like 12 and 11, I'm like, oh, I don't want no money.
Yeah.
But I had no idea in my mind that I was getting further and further, and that what I saw, what I was exposed to, was messing with my relationship with money. Then I became an adult from seeing that, and I didn't want to do anything past making a certain amount of money. Like, to say I wanted to be wealthy, that would have never come out of my mouth, because the music I was listening to was telling me that the more money I had, the more problems I would have.
And then it goes back to the, like what you saw.
Yes, and so I'm like, Biggie said. So now I'm listening to the music, my hip hop, and I'm saying, no, I don't want a lot of money because I don't want no more problems.
Exactly.
But what they didn't tell you in the message of the songs is, if you don't know how to handle money, you're going to have more problems. If you worship money, you're going to have problems. If you do the wrong thing with your money, you can have problems. But they never said any of that. So I associated money with problems. And I said, I don't need no more problems.
Right.
But the turning point in my life, ladies, was when I was 23 years old. And I was pregnant with my second son, and I had my oldest son was almost 5. No, he was almost 4 at the time. And we came home one day, and there was a nice white folded piece of paper taped to my screen door of my townhome. And I'm not knowing that they serve you eviction notices on your door. So I pulled it out, and I just went on in the house and just threw it on the table. Never thinking that was my notice to say, hey, yo, you gotta get ready to get out.
Right.
And so I was getting getting my oldest son to sleep that night, and I just was like, oh, I ain't never look at this. So I opened it, and to my surprise, it was saying I was behind in my rent. And I'm like, okay, so I know they're gonna give me some time. This was like my second apartment, but it was my first apartment that was not based on your income. So when you living on on your income, it varies with your things. So I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna pay it. They're gonna go back to zero. Oh no, ma'am. And no zero here. Right. So I had to come up with over $1,300 in 30 days. And so I immediately started going crazy. I'm like, oh my God, where am I gonna get this money from? So I'm not gonna put his business out there, but yeah, some money was stolen from me, and so I was not able to pay my rent. Ladies, watch the men that you are with, okay?
Yes,
Do
indeed.
not let
That's a whole
them.
other episode.
Yes.
You come back and have a
So,
yes.
watch your stuff.
Yes.
But so I got played, and by my baby daddy, and I end up having to call the rental office. That also played me because when I got there, she says, "Oh, so you do know where the rental office is?" Excuse me. She was like, "Yeah, because you don't come and make payments, but I see you got the notice." And I'm like, "I'm a single parent, but you know they don't care about that."
No.
So I didn't give her my side story. I asked her, "Could you not put my stuff out on the street? Can I voluntarily move out?"
Right.
And she said, "We'll give you that, but it's still going to be the same amount of time." So I wasn't disputing the notice. I knew I wasn't paying it. I just didn't understand how it was going to work out. But that was the pivotal moment when I said, "You're homeless and pregnant and already a mommy. So what do you do?" So I said, "Do I go to a women's shelter or do I go back to my mama's house?" I didn't want to do either.
Mm-hmm.
So what did Adrian do? I didn't do either. I slept in my car for 1 week with my unborn child and my child that I have now for 1 week, and I realized that's not gonna work. You cannot do that. You number one, you got to get in some water.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, what are you showing this 4-year-old? You know, so I bit the bullet and I moved back into my mom's house. For 4 years, I lived under someone's roof I'm an adult. And I pitied myself and I tried to commit suicide. I tried to do everything in those 4 years. But I sit here before you today as a wife, as a mother of 3, and as a homeowner of over 12 years. So it can be done, but that is what forced me to learn finances from A to Z, because nobody was teaching us that.
And I commend you, and I can relate on so many levels with that. Like, you have to find your drive in life and everything, not just finances, but in life overall. You have to find your drive. You have to have that want, that desire to move forward and to build yourself. And I commend you. I
Thank you.
I want to run across the screen again.
I know, me too. I'm sitting here like, big man, like he holds his own, like that's my baby.
So what?
She got you.
So I can't call you
Keep it.
Jamal. What, like, either one of you, what is your intake? Because I want to piggyback off of what you said, Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this in our live, our last episode. What is your determination? What is your definition of wealthy and rich? Because there is a big difference, and people just don't.
They run them together.
They don't understand wealthy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would be your definition or the difference between the two?
I guess I'm about one word definition. Rich is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Say it again. Say it a little louder.
Yeah,
Okay.
let the people hear you. Let the people hear you. I'm
Rich
here.
is temporary, and I think wealthy is long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think of wealthy, I think about Amari kids.
Which is our youngest.
Yeah,
That's
Amari is our
He's
6-year-old, so I think
Okay.
about his kids being wealthy from,
Right.
from what we
That
created.
generational.
Yeah.
What you talk about, Willis?
That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
like the difference.
Right. And wealth is also comes with wisdom. So wealthy people are not splurgers. They're not instant gratification people. They do not. A lot of wealthy people, you don't even know that they're wealthy because they don't show it. Rich people, on the other hand, could be very flashy. They want to show people what they have, and
I mean, they don't gotta be rich. I mean,
Right.
people that's not rich be rich.
They sure do. They sure do. They sure do.
Like,
But yeah, we said that like last episode. We said
like you,
I had someone break that down to me when I was young. So I did have like that knowledge growing up. And he told me, he said, you can go into a wealthy person's house and it's laced with Dollar Tree items because he knows the value and he knows how to spend that money. But you can go into a rich man's house and they have the exact same item that they paid thousands of dollars for. You know, so
And like the Zach
when he told
Zuckerbergs
me
of the
that
world
when I was
with the little
younger,
hoodies.
that stuck with me for life. Like, I don't want to be rich.
Yeah.
I didn't know that growing up. I didn't want to be rich. I knew I wanted to be wealthy. Hit me with the W, please.
Right.
I just said I didn't want to be poor. Like growing up, I didn't want to be poor, and I didn't want to be on welfare. Now I had to be on welfare. You know, I was a single mom, had my daughter.
Yeah.
Sometimes today I wish I could get some food stamps when you got 2 boys and they football players. You know, they eating you out of house and home. But at the end of the day, you know, I think like that. We said that before. Like I wish I could get some food stamps, but for whatever reason, I applied and I couldn't get it, and I should be happy that they denied me. Even though my boys eat me out of the house and home, I still should be happy that I didn't
you couldn't get it.
I couldn't get
you
it.
Make more than did you make too much to receive?
To receive it,
right?
Even though it's not a lot,
right?
But still,
but that keeps you from that being your crutch.
Right.
See, a lot of people that can continue to receive this service, they do just that. They stay stuck there. They keep getting that. I'm not trying to judge anyone, but they may even keep trying to have children to stay there because it's security for them. One thing that I know that we did not learn in school, I think they touched on it a little bit in like maybe 2nd grade, talking about the magnets. This is a magnet. This will stick to something if you put it up against something metal. But what they didn't tell us about the magnet is they weren't teaching us what a pulley was and the attraction. What they was trying to teach us in that is that you attract what you are around. You attract what you say you want.
Right.
And that's something that they didn't teach us. Once again, they told us about the overall, but they didn't tell us how to apply it to our lives. Yeah. And so what I realized in my walk of life is I was attracting certain things because that's what I had. I was attracting not so good people and men because I wasn't worthy. I felt I wasn't worthy. Right. So it's the same thing when it came to money. I'm like, oh, I don't want but a little bit. I'm just going to give my little food stamps. I'm just going to give my little, and I wasn't attracting anything better. And so that's why I kept getting the same services. But I would think, they asking me all these questions if I got money in my checking account, if I got stocks and bonds, if I got all this, and I was saying, well, wait a minute, I don't have all of that. But you mean to tell me that if I ever want to acquire that, I got to give all of that to y'all?
Right.
Oh, no, now you're tracking my life. Right. So then you become their tracking system to see what you're doing and to see what you're not doing. And at that point, you have to decide, do you want to be tracked your whole entire life? Or do you just want to jump? Do you want to jump and just say, hey, I'll be okay without it. I might struggle a little bit. I might be, some tight spots, but no, I'd rather be tight and struggling than to be trapped and stay in that same space. Yeah. So I know that, like I said, every student comes to me at a different level, and I meet them where they are, asking them those questions. And when you ask people questions, you get to see what they've been through. You get to hear their trauma, because I had big time trauma. You get to hear that trauma. You get to see why they react to certain things. You get to see why certain things they're scared to actually do. All of us were born with gifts, creativity. We have it, but if we're not around people to pull it out or to support you in it, sometimes it just lays dormant.
What you looking at me for?
Because you're my support system.
I know, I have pushed and pulled and pushed and pulled.
Yes. It just stays there.
For each other. Yeah,
absolutely.
You gotta definitely.
I was like, man, I wish I knew you when I first
you
moved.
You know, my box of tissue again. Because she gets the crying again.
I ain't going to cry in front of the company.
I will.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, you definitely have to
have that.
That's so cool. And I learned that it took me till my 30s, which is sad, to learn that the company I keep is who I am.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be, I wanted to be a better person. So a lot of the company that I keep, I talk to every so often now.
Yeah.
Because they're not into what I'm into.
Yeah.
And so we're cool. We
Right.
can still be friends.
But you gotta protect.
But I had to put
That's not
myself, yeah, right. I had to put myself in around a group of people that want their own business, want to strive. I had to, and when I started being in that circle with people with that mindset, they had ideas. I had the ideas. We started moving and grooving into our own business. Next thing you know, my business was up and running, for itself.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point like, okay, I have a little bit more time, put more energy into it. I'm going in. I'm grabbing my girls. I'm taking them with me, kicking and screaming if they got to.
That's right.
If I know that's what they want, I'm giving them the information that nobody gave me.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
you have to make sure you're able to grow with your circle.
Absolutely.
And you got to know when to let your circle go.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we done
Yes.
We done been around there. As you can see, we're going to talk about the finance and the
Yes.
tax, but we're also, like, this is
Incorporate
life.
life.
We're
Right.
gonna incorporate life
Yeah,
into
it's-
this.
Yeah. So this is the course of life skills.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like the only way you can kind of balance out. Like, I don't want to sit here and just preach, but
That's right.
you can't get into your financial history without knowing your life's history.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to find that common ground and y'all never seen me talk like this right? I'm normally like the goofy.
No, but we love it.
but-
But you wear many hats.
Right.
You wear many hats.
Are you always this quiet? Or you just letting the ladies just
Oh yeah, you know I'm very pick on you.
He's pretty quiet most of the time.
What-
Until
what's your
he
sign?
feels that he needs
Aries.
to say.
Aries? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I was like, you a Leo?
So let's get into the good. Let's get into that stimmy.
Yes.
So let's come into the tax bracket. Tell us a little yay, nay, go, no with the stimulus.
Don't spend it.
Like, are we going to get taxed on that? Do you believe somewhere down the line?
Like I'm
line?
feeling like we getting all these good checks. I'm blessed to have them. They coming at the right time. I'm building with them. But in all actuality, what's the 22 with it?
It's still out there. I don't know. Honestly, I think it's free money. I haven't seen a catch-22 on it yet. But one thing I can be cautious about, I think this was the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Be
I
wise with your dollars. Ain't that what we said last
Yeah.
time?
Wise with your dollars. Yes,
Yeah, I
right.
think this was the last stimmy.
As far as like a big chunk, because then they still have that extra.
Well, the child tax
That
credit
child-
but
Yeah.
if your kid is between 6 and 17, you get what, $250
No,
each.
I don't know anymore.
Oh.
All I know is when I did my taxes this year, I was like, "What money?
Oh.
Can I shrink them to add some more of these zeros? What is
But
this?"
yeah, when they get older, yeah,
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
18.
Good goodness.
But the good thing about when they're getting older, they can file their own to get their own
Yeah.
stimulus money.
Yeah.
Because a lot of college kids suffer from that the first
Right.
2 times, but they can go back and get it also.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's good to know. So like my sister had 2 college kids the first 2 times around. So they didn't get anything that time.
Mhm.
They got it this time. So they could go back. She could go back and like
Like,
basically.
they work- I ain't gonna cut you.
No, go ahead.
So if they work like a Papa John's, a little ring ding job or something,
Mhm.
and they ain't make that much,
Right.
they can file it. But they're gonna ask them did they get a stimulus for the first 2 times, and
Uh-huh.
they'll get their stimulus back.
Oh.
They gonna take forever a lifetime, but they'll get it back.
Eventually.
Right.
It may not come when you want it,
I
but it
don't
always
think I
come on
got all
time.
my stimulus. Everybody keeps saying this is the third one. I only got one. This is my second one.
It
Dude.
is. No,
I need to go
it was
find.
3.
It was 3. So you didn't get the first one.
I don't know which one. The first one was the first one for me, so I don't.
So
Well,
what
Well,
was,
back
Not to
last
tell you
year.
Yeah.
And see, that's I don't.
what was the amount? Not to put your business out there.
No, it was the regular. No, because I had the 600 for the kids.
So that's
Okay.
the
So whatever
second.
that
second
one
one.
was. So the first one I must have missed out.
The,
that
sec-
was the-
the first one was 1,200 and 600 for every child.
Oh, I need my pennies. I go back.
Did you file your taxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
You supposed to put it on there. They put.
That should have been a question.
So
that they
this
asked
year, right? This year when you filed your taxes, they asked you if you got how much stimulus you got last year, and then it would have been like combined.
But I think the talk about the third one didn't come out until after I filed. So at the time, I'm not thinking.
No,
more
this year
than-
when you filed this year, they asked you about both of them.
The first one was $1,200 for adults and $600 for each child.
Right.
Then the second one was $600 for everybody.
In the household.
That's what I much didn't get. The second one.
You didn't get the
Yeah.
second one.
Yeah.
So we may go to your tax
But-
person and say,
yeah.
hey, did you?
I'm
how
on
much you
my
put in?
way.
But either the first and the second one still didn't include like the college students.
Yeah, the third
This
one
was
Yeah, I
the one
know
that
you
included.
included everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Let me go find my pennies.
Like,
Mama,
go
pennies.
to Papa Joe and get your. I'm Papa John from Papa Joe.
Papa Joe, Uncle Joe. That's what they say, Uncle
Get,
Joe.
get your pennies.
But you can amend them, your taxes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did have to do that one year before.
But the wisdom behind the stimulus is should be that you have to know that there's an overflow and then there's a drought. And so in the overflow, you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing with the overflow. And then when the drought comes, you're supposed to be able to pull from what you did with your overflow in the
Okay,
in the
so
drought.
when you can explain it to me a little bit, like I said, like I like, you get financial coaches and
Mhm.
they talk, and sometimes like you gotta kind of baby it a little
Okay.
bit, take us back. So when you say overflow,
Mhm.
it's basically like I didn't really need this, so let me put that extra money here.
Mhm.
And if I
Secure
needed
it.
this part, so say you got the $1,400, I needed 1,000, so the 400 I didn't need. Save that. That's
Right.
overflow.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe next month I might need an extra $100. I
Yeah.
take that from
Right.
the-
But let's talk about that. So it's six different main principles when it comes to securing your money, and a lot of people don't know that they're maybe participating in the 6. So
Mhm.
the first one would be an emergency fund.
Mhm.
Half of America does not have an emergency fund. An emergency fund to me means life, because they're gonna happen. We don't know when we're gonna need a tire, when we're gonna need a tune-up, when we're gonna need a car, and so it's like, okay, I don't have it. So what we end up doing is borrowing, or we end up
Credit cards.
robbing Peter to pay
Paul,
Paul, and
exactly.
Bartholomew too. He's in there.
Yeah.
It's like you're robbing everybody to try to get what you should have been secure in.
Yeah.
And so that 3 to 6 months of living expenses is so important. But why would I say no more than that? Some people dump all of their money into the bank. And I caution you to do that. Why do you think I caution you not to put all of your money into a savings account in a bank?
I don't know.
What is the bank doing with your money?
Oh, they making the interest off of it?
They're investing your money.
Oh, that's right. They're loaning it
yes.
to other people.
So as your money is sitting there,
Mhm.
they will take, let's say you had $5,000. You're like, oh no, I got my kitty up to 5,000. So they'll take your whole entire 5,000. They will invest it in the stock exchange, and then the profits that they make, you don't get any of that.
Right.
But they're gonna put your $5,000 back
Right.
into your account, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not like they didn't lose your money. They didn't, they gave you your money back, but they profited like G money off of
Right.
your money, but you didn't get any of that. And so my question is, if they can make my money compound, I should be able to make my money
Right.
compound. And this is where we kind of get lost, because we don't know where to secure our money. A lot of people do not have life insurance. Why? Because people feel like, well, you don't get life insurance on me, she ain't gonna kill me. Okay, well, first of all, I'm not gonna kill you, and you probably are worth more to me dead than you are alive. However, we have to mature past that.
Right.
Life insurance is important, because if something happens to me, everything falls on him. I don't want to leave him in that situation. I want my children's quality of life to be great, whether I'm present or not.
Mhm.
Same thing. Something happened to me. Something happened to him. I'm back to being a single parent.
Right.
Like, no, I don't want that. And so when those conversations come up, nobody say sit at the table every night at dinner time and like, I don't know if you're gonna die tomorrow. But like, we don't keep talking about it. But I even had a fear of that, because my family didn't, they was like, well, what adults talk about is adult business. But I would ask my mom, like, well, when we gonna talk about this? She was like, that's adult business. And I'm like, okay, mommy, but I'm gonna be adult. You're raising an adult. Like, stop hiding stuff from me, because I'm gonna
Right.
get out in the world and I know what to do. But I think that they think that they're protecting us
Right.
from the adult stuff. but you're raising me to be an adult. So if
Right.
I don't know anything, then you're really like hindering me from being my very best.
That's the one thing I did good was get me an insurance policy when I was
Yes.
a single.
Yeah.
When I was a single, especially when I was a single mother,
Mhm.
because I always was like, and I was at my job, they'd be like, you want this insurance policy? And I'd be like, I want the highest one. They'd be like, why? It's only you and your daughter. I'd be like, well, cause here, if something happened to me, my daughter's going to my sister. She got 3 kids. So she got to be able to take care of her kids and my kids the same way I'm taking care. So I always get the highest whenever I can get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I think I did good.
Right.
Not the one thing.
Right,
I mean,
but one of the many things that you felt that was very important to you
Yeah.
that you do. But I even caution that because I mean I lost my job last year, but Mr. Essential here is still rolling back and forth to his job, and I felt like for some people that was a kind of like a smack in the face. How they said that if you weren't essential, that you you lost your job, they furloughed you, or go see if you can get some unemployment. And kudos to the essential, thank you, Lord. However, income was lost in a lot of people's house, but not only that, benefits were lost.
Yes, I was lucky in that when they furloughed us.
Yeah.
Because I was the insurance, like the health insurance carrier. Because my husband worked for himself.
Okay.
I was lucky in that they kept paying our insurance. That was luck. But then the store ended up closing and we lost our jobs. And I had to get another job paying way less. But I had to do it for insurance.
Yeah.
You know?
Do it for insurance purposes. And so I never like to put all of my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So I always recommend that people get other additional supplemental insurance outside of their job that you're paying directly to, no matter whether the job is there or not. Your family is secured.
Yeah.
And that's with health insurance too.
Yeah.
That's another thing that people don't do. They don't have those two. They don't have the cushion in case if something happened. They don't have the life insurance, and so they do fish fries and they do all this, funding money to try to
GoFundMe.
Yes. And then people feel so bad because it's like, it is a loved one and it is their family.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we got to go back to being responsible. People say, oh, I don't have money to afford a life insurance company, to afford life insurance. But if I sit down with them and do a budget, I'm like, oh, you got $400 extra discretional income. Where's that money going? Oh, you said 400. Yeah. Where's the 400 did you have? Oh, I didn't know we had. I don't know where they went. Where that went? Now the one look at the boyfriend and say, where the money went? He's like, you the one feel on Amazon.
Like, look at all those boxes.
Going around. You're gonna see Amazon. So it's like we don't know because we're not necessarily budgeting.
Right.
And that's the foundation of financial success. We have to see where our money is going, because if we don't tell our money where it's going, then it just go. And it'll flow like liquid.
Who is it? Jeff Bezos.
Yes, it'll flow like liquid, and you never would see it, or you just got a lot of stuff. And I don't know if they're doing it different now at the funeral homes. Can I take 7 pairs of Jordans and say, can you trade these Jordans to get my baby in the casket?
Well, shoot. Nowadays, they might take a pair of Jordans. I don't know.
What size you wear?
What size am I get? I'll meet you in the parking lot.
Are those the retro ones?
But not to make light of death and life or whatever. But what I'm saying is we accumulate a lot of things because we think we cannot afford them. But in all actuality, it's just because we've never put it in the budget. And we've never been taught that should be in our budget.
Right.
So we have family. This is a little bit off subject, but I got to go there because it makes a point. So when we were pregnant with our children, how many CPR classes do you take?
Oh, I'm certified every year.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking about an average mom. So say there's a mom right now with her legs in stirrups. She's about to push her baby out. Has she taken a CPR class?
I never took.
Probably not. So when that baby is turning blue in that crib, she has no absolute idea what to do for that baby. But that baby got Jordans, soft bottoms, no bottoms, socks. They got clothes for days. You can dress them every single hour if you wanted to. You don't know how to protect this baby or keep this baby if this baby turns blue.
Yeah.
And so I just always feel like you're so ready to be a mom, but they didn't even prep you on how to really be a mom. And I think that I'm gonna get that implemented. CPR classes are gonna go right along with learning how to breathe. If I'm teaching you how to breathe and push them out, I'm gonna teach you what to do if they turn blue.
And whew,
Yeah.
Lord, we learn. Alice always got something
I'm telling you.
teachable.
Yes. Yeah. They
That's
got
another topic.
I know. Oh, yeah. Girl, you have to come back for like she's a financial coach, bro. Oh, she got hope. We might have a third Pink Palace girl.
I'm telling you. So yeah, but I was saying that because we always, you know, like, oh, I'm ready to get this, I'm ready to be a homeowner, I'm ready to, but we never have that backup. What do you do? Okay, so now you have the home. Now the house is furnished. Boom. Somebody leave the daggone stove on. Now the thing about to burn down. You got hazard insurance? Hell no, I'm paying mortgage.
Right.
Well, why don't you have your hazardous insurance? Because you just want the dwelling, but you didn't secure it.
Right.
You didn't protect it. So this is the only dwelling that we get. We gotta protect it, and we gotta protect our children's dwelling, and we can't depend on no job to do that for us, because the jobs are the biggest scams. You got the big people at the top and just trickling down.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why you got this business running,
Right.
because you understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, because as soon as you quit, they be like, all right, bye, let me go.
Replace
Let me go. Susie, come on.
Yep. Next.
You've been promoted.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I ain't even get dust on the dash yet.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
It's not right. But then our other thing that we need to do is our day. You know, we go to school, we send our kids to school, we like, go to college, yeah, get that grade.
Oh Lord.
Okay, they give you 6 months to pay back your student loan debt
Right.
when you come out. They know ain't nobody got no job that quick
Right.
in their field. And
Right.
they know that. And so what does a child go? Oh, I'm going to defer it. I'm going to go in forbearance. I'm going to set up a payment plan. That payment plan, I'm going to tell you, if it's between that and P them churn, you ain't getting no money
Right,
from
you
me.
ain't getting that dime.
Right. But then they know that does what?
Interest.
Debt to income ratio. They say, oh, we looking at your credit, your 50,000, 70,000 in student loan debt, and your income annually is only 40,000.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, we're not going to be able to give you that. So then that goes the home ownership that we thought we could do, and we want to get a better car, but our interest rate is 19%.
Yeah.
It's like they know how to get us. So what I say is, don't file bankruptcy, because that's what everybody wanted to do.
Oh my God, not to cut you off, but that was the biggest. I've heard so many. I had so many friends and families that did the bankruptcy, and they've done it like 2, 3, 4 times. I'm like,
Yeah,
how can you? I've done it once, and I'm still to this day in it, and I wish I would not have. But at the time that I was going in, I think I was working somewhere else, and I just lost my grandmother. So I went in for a consultation, and not listening to him, I'm just like, I lost my grandma, that was my heart, and I just started signing stuff. And next thing you know, I was in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I called him back. I said, wait, can I get out of this?
Right.
Because my goal was, I had my car. I didn't want to lose my car, and I was having trouble making the payments. The payments were like 3 something.
Okay.
Oh, actuality, my bankruptcy is 3 something. I'm like, I'm paying. I'm still
Paying it.
I'm like, let me out of this. They was like, no, because if you can just, I was like, can I just give you what I owe? No, because if you can do that, then I'm like, oh, that's like, I would tell anybody, don't do it. Don't do that bankruptcy. Like, I don't understand how people can do it.
It's not worth it.
4 or 5 times. Like, once I get out of this,
Yeah.
I'm out. Like,
That's not like
when
you
use my
told me.
number, don't mail me no greeting card. I don't want to get none for
No
Christmas.
referrals.
No.
I'm not referring. You know, they be like, can you refer from 5 to 10 to have it chick kiss? I'm like,
Yeah.
Who's like,
Yeah.
I didn't say. It wasn't clear. It wasn't. I was like, I said, yeah.
but yeah, I'm like, I wish I wish I would have talked to an actual person and said no. But everybody I talked about it glorified it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know what they're talking about.
Like you get a fresh start, girl. You
Like
go
how is
over.
it? Like how does that happen when you have
You
like
charge this?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
you have the balance, like where she's like, I was terrible, and you got the other people, you know, like the reviews when you looking to buy something. I'll be like, I don't know. It's a lot of good reviews.
Yeah.
I'll just get it. I just brought something like that the other day, but I might be the one to end up with the. It's something for my lab. You know, like when she had a bad, you know, experience with bankruptcy, and then you got the people that have a good experience with bankruptcy.
I would have been out of
Well,
it.
we did
3
both.
years ago.
We had good and bad experience.
3 years ago, I would have been out of it, but I lost my job. And I had to start that sucker over again. I said, y'all is killing. Like, I've paid my car off 3 times already.
See?
And
And they know that.
They know that. So
They
I'm
know that.
like, ooh.
Yep, they know that.
Ooh. If we won't record now.
It's a couple of things there. They know that we're desperate times calls for, you know, desperate. And so they know that when you're being faced with, you need to pay this, you need to pay that, and you like, I ain't got none of that money. I need peace, bankruptcy. They know that you're gonna come against that. And that's what happened to Jamar and I. We filed bankruptcy. What was it? The second year marriage? That was the
First year.
That was the worst year. And first year marriage is horrible. I don't know about how it is for
But
you.
You're still together, right?
Man.
Like, you made it through the
Hey, tell me this when we were jumping
First year. It was the 2014.
Yeah.
How long y'all been married?
It'd be 8 years this December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was coming out of single parenting, and I was just like, I can do bad by myself. You know, just blaming him. He like, well, look, I came into this thing. He was already kind of going down, girl. So he ain't as quiet as y'all think. He do advocate for himself. But yeah, tell them about when we started with what?
We'll start what? Chapter 13.
Yeah, we was pregnant. I was pregnant with Amari.
Yeah.
And they came and took my truck while I was at the baby shower.
She was at the baby shower.
Getting my baby some goodies.
A good baby shower too. Getting some gifts and everything.
Yeah, I was getting free stuff.
And she called me. She said, I know I parked right here, but I don't know where the truck at.
Count.
Said, baby, they came and got that truck.
I'm like, where is the truck? I'm hitting the button. I'm like, but I don't see the truck. And I'm like, oh my God. He was like, I was like, would they do that? I'm at the baby shower. How they just gonna take my truck and they saw me walk in here? I'm pregnant. You know,
You weren't pregnant. You had him already.
Oh, I already had him already. Okay.
Because we had to call my mom and come and pick you up.
Man. So anyway, we expedited very quickly. I ended up calling and they took the truck over to some local like junkyard or tow place or whatever. And I was able to reach out to a lawyer like within a week or something, and they got us the truck back. But then we were already in the bankruptcy. We had signed the paperwork and all of that stuff. So we're in our chapter 13. I was not working. So this main check was getting ate up every 2 weeks with that bankruptcy coming
It's
up.
like an automatic, like.
25%.
Yeah. Oh my
The number was like 296 every 2 weeks.
So you can't miss what you ain't never had. Yes, you can. You are lying. Where's the rest of this money? Yes, you can miss it.
So we did that for about 2 years.
About 2 years, yeah.
And then
That was like the good one.
No, that was the bad one.
That was the
Tell
bad
them what happened. It was because our house was in there too. So we put the house in there. We put the truck. The most important things that we thought we were saving. Tell them what happened to the truck, Jamon.
that thing broke down.
Transmission
Oh,
gone.
my goodness.
So you
But
think
you
I'm
still
gonna
gotta
pay on
pay
this
for it.
bankruptcy and we ain't even using that? I'm like, what in the world? Then the house had kind of like
We caught up.
So they was like, well, your house ain't in the bankruptcy no more either because you got caught up on a payment. I'm like, why again are we paying for this bankruptcy that's coming out? So ding, ding, ding. I'm like, we converting. We gonna do a 7.
We converted with our tax money.
Yes, we did. If you gonna do it when you got money. We converted when we got our tax money. And these are the opportunities. I tell everybody there are opportunities in
And
crisis.
so what does that mean?
So we were in a 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
And then we filed a necessary paperwork to do a 7. So they asked for another payment. So I give you an example. Our payment was like $1,300. So we took whatever we paid in the 13. They took that and the $1,300 to put it to convert.
Okay.
And so we went to court and
convert means just change it from a 13 to a 7. Right.
filed a necessary paperwork. 2 months later, it was discharged.
So I asked them if I could do, because now I asked them if I could do that, but they were like, "You're gonna lose your car."
So do you lose stuff when you do that, or?
Well, you could possibly lose it, but the good thing about it is it discharges earlier, so we got right back in something better. Mm-hmm.
We was the day we convert.
We
We
went to
the
Car
car dealership.
America.
No,
They
that's-
referred us to a company, and we
Oh.
went to Car America, and we was going just to get one car because we were like, okay, we need something. They took the truck, we'll just, but we ended up getting 2 vehicles in the same day.
Oh wow.
And then this here wise guy here, they had told him, they was like, well, after a year, go ahead on to your credit union and, refinance. Jamal waited what,
6
5
months.
or 6 months? And the credit, interest rate that we were paying with the Car America people was like
28.
28.
21.
And see, that's what I need to
21%.
get more
Mhm.
familiarized with, like the interest rates and
Yeah.
when things change. I need to like buckle down and learn more
Yeah.
because I know it, but not to the point of how to utilize
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
and benefit from it.
Uh-huh.
So
And that high interest rate when it comes to cars, that's not a good thing. So you
mhm.
don't want your interest rate to be that high. So with our credit union, we not knowing, we were new with the credit union. Jamar took them loans to him and said, hey, this is where we are. Can we convert? Can we like get you guys to finance this for us? They did, and our interest rate now is 4.7%.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
ridiculous
is,
compared to the 20.
yo, I'm trying to tell you, it was like, oh my goodness. And then his car note went down to only paying like $200 and something dollars
Yeah.
a month, and mine went from like 4 something to like 3 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My car note was 352 with the high interest rate, and yours was 452.
Wow.
And so it's like not only did the interest rate come
So
down,
you can still
Lord,
potentially
Right.
pay that same because that's what you was paying.
yeah,
Pay your car off. quicker.
exactly, pay your car out quicker.
Yeah.
And so, and they know that when you kind of file the bankruptcy that you're coming in there because you're desperate. You're like, oh God, I just need to be saved. But it's sometimes not worth it. You can do what you call snowball your debt. Y'all ever heard of
No.
snowballing? Okay, so snowballing is when you do your budget and you see how much money you have that is kind of what you would consider play money. And you take that and you look at your lowest debt toward that you owe. So let's say you owe maybe a debt toward maybe like $400. So you will sacrifice that play money and send them that $400. Boom, knock them off. So now it's not like, oh, I got that extra $400 this month because I paid them. Nope,
Nope,
you're gonna take that $400 and apply it to your next debt.
Mhm.
The next debt may be $900. So you send them the $400. Now you owe them is $500. The next time you get it. So it takes a longer time, but you're in control of who you're
Right.
paying off. And as soon as you pay it off, they should be reporting it different to the credit bureau.
Yeah.
But people, we have the money.
Yeah.
We just don't
No,
do
you're doing it right.
what we're supposed to
You're
do
doing
with it, and so we cycle around in the same
So
debt
it's
pool.
basically better because like that, like you said, say if you got credit cards and they say pay, like sometimes you hear them say pay your highest interest rate off first, or is it like pay your highest interest rate off first or the lowest amount that you owe on that credit card? So if you have credit cards ranging from like you owe $500 to or going all the way up to $5,000, you start like from just not even from the 5,000, just the one that's the highest interest rate, or just pay that $400 one off, then pay that one off, and then like that.
I would pay it depending upon which one you have the highest utilization on.
Oh.
So it's your usage. So if you're using the heck out of your pink card, then you need to pay that whatever that amount is to that card, because that's what the credit bureaus look. They look at your utilization.
That's like debt to ratio, right?
Absolutely. Well, not really.
No.
So the utilization is how much you spent towards your balance, and nobody should be. Well, maybe the wealthy because they've earned it. I guess they're disciplined now.
Like so, you got a $5,000 credit limit. You shouldn't be spending more than $2,000 on that card.
Yeah, it should be
It's
like
less.
15 to 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be
I
$5,000.
got 5,000. I could be $499. Because down there looking at like,
Damn, like you're just using that for your income, like
Exactly.
essentially.
Or I would say that you can do that as well, because I was doing that. I was paying all of my bills with one credit card. But when I got my payroll checks, by that 28 day cycle, both of my checks went to pay my credit card. So it's like I paid back what I used, in the billing cycle, which means it boosted my credit.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so she responsible. So she swiped almost
Right.
3,000, but she
Also paid
you know,
the
yeah.
3,000 back. So
Mhm.
that doesn't hurt you when you do stuff like that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope.
So when did the kids come downstairs?
A month.
Sound like the same.
You using the bathroom?
No.
Oh, you good? Okay. You say you do? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You sure you're scared to go upstairs by yourself? I'm scared.
You want to take a break and show them where the bathroom is?
You want to take a break and show me that?
You closer. You want me to scoop my big old lovely, yummy-licious around? That's the life of parenthood.
Yes, indeed it is. So yeah, so that utilization is important. They're looking at that when you have the credit cards, and that's why a lot of people don't get the credit cards.
Mhm.
Is because they're not yet disciplined in that area. If they know they have a $5,000 spending limit, you know, they say, "Oh, that's free money."
No,
But it's
I
not.
shoot. They know it ain't free money.
They know
They
it's
just
not.
want it. Shoot, I remember when
Right.
Home Depot gave me a $10,000 credit. I was like, "Ooh, I can get a new washing machine." I did good with that one because I like doing like stuff outside,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, man, that was terrible, but I did good with that one. That one's paid off. That one was
Yes.
good. Cause see, I think the one that I could buy food with is the one that's always messing me up.
Yeah.
Cause I'll be like, ain't nothing in the refrigerator.
No,
Let me
but
just
I'm
go
gonna
get.
go get me something to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get some
Yeah.
groceries.
Or get too like late in the day and it's almost time for dinner time. Yes, I'm just gonna stop and get something.
Right.
Yeah. Which, you know, it's nothing wrong with that. And so that's why I keep going back to the budget. Because when you look at a budget, there's a budgeted amount, there's an actual amount, there's the difference between what that amount is,
Mhm.
and then it should tell you the percentage that you went over. And so a lot of people, if I were to ask them, what's your budgeted amount for groceries a month? They're like, oh, I don't know, it can range from, nope, I don't need a range. I need what you say I'm going
Why
in.
the hell we gotta watch those when we record?
To speed.
Now the washing machine is uneven.
They probably done put one sock in there.
One side and a pillow.
So when it comes to that, people give you ranges.
Mhm.
They don't know exactly how much they're spending on the
Yeah.
groceries, which means they're going in at times without discipline, and sometimes they'll just get it because, you know, they want to get it. But if you
Yeah.
go in and you say, hey, like I get excited when I say I'm going in there to spend $200 and she say your total is
$199.
$199.93. I'm like, woo! Man, that's 7 cents. You know that, yes. You know, you feel liberated because you stay under your budget, and but the thing that I will say is, let's say your budget was $200, and you spent $150 in the grocery store. You're gonna have that temptation. I got $50 more. I'm going to Target. Hey now. No.
Put that in that overflow.
You don't go to Target because now you feel good, and that's what we do. Like, I'm going to celebrate. Now you get ready to go mess up.
Right.
All the time.
Oh yes, that's what I'm saying. We're in this together. I did our budget the other day. Oh my goodness, and it was our 16-year-old's birthday month. Oh my goodness, we said we were gonna spend $300 on his birthday, and I ain't even shared this with my husband yet.
Uh-oh.
We went out of budget
Live
for the
reactions.
meal. $312. We spent $612 on that 16-year-old.
Oh.
And not oh.
Well, I know we're going to
Did
get
you just wipe the sweat? Did you just wipe the sweat?
our birthday next month. What's my budget?
I'm just like, well, I'm trying to tell you right now, we're gonna stay within the budget with you. 'Cause we done went out with this man, okay?
But it was
You
a
gonna
sweet
get a
16. Look at me already.
justification.
Justification.
Okay.
It was a sweet 16.
Justifying.
Right.
Okay, give me 3 minutes. Have a seat. You okay with what you had?
I'm gonna say, yeah, I just did a 16th birthday with my daughter, so
Yeah.
I was like, well, we only gonna do this, and
You went to the AB.
we went to take pictures, and he was like, oh yeah, it's $25 package. And Yeah, let's just say it wasn't a 25. By the time I'm like,
That
that
was
picture,
the
that
starter
picture,
pack.
that picture, that picture.
Yes, they probably gave you 8
Like
wallets.
that, he seared you. I call that the sear. Like, you know how we used to go to Sears and used to get the what was it, the $9.99 package and all this
That's
stuff?
how
But
you
you
get you
taking
in there.
50 poses. Now I got all these pictures of my kids. And
Right.
the same
I
outfit.
want the DVD, the big
I
picture,
had-
the little
I got
picture, the
good
wallet.
I said, you know, I ain't going to Sears no more. I said, put some leaves over there. I went and got my camera.
Oh, I just gotta put some leaves over there.
Try to
Jump
get
in the
my
leaves.
own props.
Merry Christmas.
That's right. You got to go upstairs get your basketball. We gonna get our own props. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
You get wiser about things, but you have to understand that everything that we expose ourselves to, it's a marketing opportunity.
Mhm.
So they know birthdays are gonna come, they know special occasions are gonna come, and they use that to draw you in. They're like, oh my goodness, I know, but they're gonna give you one 8x10 and one 5x7, but you know that the poses are gonna be so cute. Oh, you did good. Let's get some more.
Yeah.
And then you end up having all these pictures, Mari. You end up having all these pictures, and then guess what? I got graduation pictures from our son graduating from high school from CJ that we just pulled out. It's a whole page. Then we ain't did that with him. I'm like, what you gonna do with it? You gonna say he's gonna say, I don't need to keep them. Hey, boy, that's mine.
I know.
You
That's
know?
I didn't get my daughter. I still have the little card because you know. Them school pictures, they stay on the website. What is
They
it called?
do.
Yes. So I can still order them. But them pictures is expensive.
They are.
They're like $300. I
And
was
they're
like,
Yeah, and
Now I'm gonna have another one graduate. I'm like, oh
Why
Lord.
I've never seen anybody come down the steps. I just know.
Oh, good.
That's your friends.
But yeah, those are all marketing tools that we have to learn that are there, and it just pushes us to be more creative. We just invested in our oldest son. He's always wanted to be a chef, and he's always wanted to be a photographer. So of course we did the first little investment. He went off to Johnson and Wales after graduating.
For chef, right?
Yeah.
Where's that? My nephew go there.
He's in Charlotte. Well, he was in Charlotte, but due to COVID, they sent him back home.
Because it's like it's like a.
It's a Providence. It's a
He's
Rhode Island.
He's in Rhode Island. My
Okay.
nephew's in Rhode Island.
So our
I
son
when
was in.
you said chef, I was like,
he was in Charlotte. Beautiful campus, great place for him to network and everything. But he had his mom and his dad. You was what, door dashing, and he was doing. I was shifting and Ubering because we were trying not to take out the student loan for him. So I'm like, we gonna pay $1,000 towards his tuition, and we just had this game plan. But I was tired. And I know he was, and we weren't seeing each other. I'm like, wait a minute. Then COVID happened his sophomore year, and he had to come back home. And I'm like, well, what you want to do? He said, well, I still want to cook. I got my night kit. I'm ready. Mom been doing this since I was 9. I'm like, okay, so we gonna jump, or what we gonna do? And he said, I'm gonna open up my own business. So Dee's Cuisine opened up November the 18th of last year. Our baby, well, he not your baby. I mean, you don't call him a baby. But my baby been in business for 4 months, and it is booming. And so last month
was it Dee's
Cuisine.
Dee's Cuisine.
Plugged in.
Yes,
We'll be
plug
plugged in.
Dee's Cuisine. And then we invested and bought him a camera. And now DC Shots is coming. And so you don't ever know. That's why I say it is opportunity and crisis. If he was still at Johnson and Wales, his mom and dad would have still been having to do all of this so he wouldn't get the student loan, but he gets it. And what he's doing now is what he wanted to do. Now, if he want to go back and get that bachelor's in science, then you go ahead. But we ain't got you this time.
Right.
We did the first 2 years.
Yeah.
You want to go back and get more, but he's going to see that it's really not totally necessary. And him implementing what we're teaching him now, because he's also my student. We meet every Monday at 12 o'clock to take him through these things.
Yeah.
And he's going to know how to click over into the right side of the cash flow quadrant. Do y'all know the right side of the cash flow
I know I
quadrant?
don't.
Do y'all know
Heard
that?
it, but I know I'm not on it.
You know? So on the left,
I know it, but yeah.
yeah. So on the left side of the cash flow quadrant, you have imagine 4 boxes with me, 4 squares. It's employee, where you have a job. Underneath that is self-employment, where you're in business for yourself. And then on the right side of the quadrant, it's business owner, where you can be anywhere in this world and your business has a system, and so it's operating with you, not there. And then an investor is basically, you come when you come, don't want to come, you ain't got to, but depending upon how well you are in what it is you're doing, you're still invested. You're still making sure that everything's running like a well-lean machine. But where people get stuck is between employee and self-employment. So I challenge people to look at it like elementary, middle school, high school, and college. Elementary school, what are we there to do? We're learning basics. Just get, we fussing, we fighting, we crying, we having temper tantrums. We getting used to this is the way that we have to do this. But how many 40-year-olds did you know that are still in elementary school?
A lot.
I mean, physically.
A
Like,
lot.
I thought you was meaning it metaphorically.
no, they're not, like they got out of elementary school.
I thought she meant metaphorically.
Okay, nobody's ever did that, but I see where you're going with it. But you don't see a 40-year-old sitting in a virtual learning classroom with, kindergarten through fifth grade.
Yeah.
And then in middle school, so we had to get out of elementary school. We went to middle school. Middle school is more like, okay, our ugly duckling stages. Who likes me? Who gonna holler at me? Am I cute enough? My hair in place, right? You're trying to fit in. Well, that's how self-employment is. It's like, well, what you want to do? Well, girl, yours look better than mine, and I don't know if I want to do it. So you're like starting to compare. You're getting scared. You don't know if you want to do it.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
I think we like in going on that the end of that. Like we can't really graduate out of that.
Good.
I feel like
y'all about to graduate out of that. So it's like a lot of ideas are coming together, and some are clashing. Some are like, we can do this. And some is saying, do I want to be sole proprietor or do I want to be a partnership? Because that's a whole nother ball game there too.
Right.
But then that's where people get stuck. And when you are self-employed, you are still exchanging your time for money, which is almost kind of like what an employee is.
Right.
But you have to find a system. If you want to click over and go to high school, which is being a business owner, you have to implement a system. A system looks like, basically, we have a brand. This is our brand. This is our audience. From our audience, how many of those people want to join us on what it is that we do? Like you guys are doing us.
Yeah.
We're joining you on this, which will eventually become something bigger.
Right.
Like y'all, I feel like this Oprah,
Hey, girl, hey.
We never know. This may go to somebody.
Right.
So it's like, it's a building thing, but you constantly have to add value. You cannot get, I'm sorry, Lil Shay Shay and DD and Dada, you can't get anybody to be on the platform. You have to constantly be adding value to what it is that you have and that you want to share. No, we can't do it. I'm sorry, Shay Shay. I'm sorry, boo boo. I'm sorry, bang bang and boo boo and doo doo. I'm sorry. I love you. But you gotta say with the gut what your mom named you when you wanted people to take you seriously. Yes, you have to do
And
that.
that's part of that elevation we were talking about.
Absolutely.
I'm proud to have you two as our first guest.
Yeah.
Because
baby.
our platform is about us, but I don't want it to be all about us.
Yes.
So having that mature perspective, knowledgeable perspective from someone else, other than just our thoughts, we can bring factual to this is what we want to do, what we're aiming for. Because like you say, you never know who this gonna reach. Somebody could be scrolling and financially boggled and be like, "Oh, I didn't know
that." Because I'm sitting here like
I know a lot of financial, but I'm still sitting here like, okay, that makes sense.
Like it makes sense.
Because you can hear somebody explain something to you, like I said before, and they're doing their job, but this is just general conversation. So you're giving it to me in an aspect where I understand it better. It's layman's terminology. I got it. I'm grasping it a little more because I'm not sitting here like, is she trying to dupe me? Is she trying to get, you know what I'm saying? My mind isn't wondering what's your angle.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your motive?
Yeah, the purity of the conversation is what I'm loving, and I hope it transpires to somebody else and they get that same feeling and reach out to these lovely couples.
Absolutely.
They have services here for you. The coaching, the tax preparer, it's here for you. You got it at the Palace, baby.
At the Palace.
So I'm all for
We're partners. They are partners for life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And they're doing it together.
You know?
No, they're different. Different. I keep telling this is not that kind of palace. Different. I always gotta. She always say something sly. I gotta say this is not that type of palace. You know, palace can mean a whole lot of
Absolutely. Just put out disclaimer. Not that kind of palace.
We know.
But yes, that's in a nutshell. Just get that system in place, and then once you become an investor, it's like going to college. You have to absolutely invest in yourself. People say, "Oh, I want to be a millionaire," and you tell them that they need to invest in purchasing books and reading, and they like, "What? I ain't paying no $14 for no book. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do it." And it's like, okay, well, maybe you can you invest to get your license certification? I thought this was free.
Everybody
cannot expect to get to higher 6 and 7 and 8 figure income if you don't want to invest. It just doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's like going into the Dollar Tree thinking that you're gonna find, I don't know, something expensive in there. You say
like you were really
it's $1,
but you're
like
not.
we said on everything is $1.
Dollar Tree.
The Dollar Tree. It's like you're not gonna find anything any more than $1 in here. So, like you if you want something better, because I'm a Dollar Tree shopper, so I ain't coming for Dollar Tree. But what I'm saying is those things don't last forever. They serve its purpose, and then you trash them, and then hopefully you will say, "Oh, I'm gonna get some of better quality." But anything that you want that's gonna be lasting, you have to start investing in it, including self.
In life and in finance, you have to learn. What you put out is what you get back.
Exactly. So if you want to keep being a bougie at the dollar store, then you're just gonna be a dollar store
all the time. And
bougie.
If you're not ready to personally develop, and you're not ready to get over some of your own insecurities. See, some people think that being a business owner is easy work.
Ooh.
You know, and it's not. You know, people would. Okay, I got the perfect analogy. Everybody want to be natural. But sometimes
that's a whole other topic, child.
You cannot be natural. Hello.
Yeah, we got our Jones today. We got Jones on today.
And the winner is. And so everybody can't be natural. And some people have to continue to get a keratin or maybe a little.
And it's nothing wrong with that. Don't shame nobody.
You have to be ready to be natural.
Because it's a process.
It is. It absolutely is.
And
And everybody cannot do it. But within that, I'm saying that it takes work.
Right.
It takes work to do that. And everybody's not necessarily not built for business owner, but you have to start investing in yourself, starting to get some of that before you can just jump out with your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to, it's a baby. So babies don't come out walking. Babies come out crying. That's what they come out. They come out crying. And so you have to nurture it, and you have to take time with it, and you have to be patient with it. And in doing that, you will see your baby walk across the stage.
What's
see
your
your
shirt
baby
say?
get married.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was just reading your shirt.
It says Black history didn't start with slavery.
Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that. I was like, Black history didn't start with slavery.
It did not.
And we took that, like I said, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, but it did not. And so we are royalty. We come from royalty. Black Wall Street is coming back. Mark it in the books.
You
It
heard
is
all
gonna
the ladies that
happen.
can touch Wall Street. I read it.
Absolutely.
You read her shirt? I was reading her shirt. Black history didn't start with slavery.
Oh, I like
And
that.
what she
I
said?
like that.
Black Wall Street is coming back.
You
Absolutely.
Talked about that too.
Yeah,
It's, you know.
because the dogs in Ghana have gold. They have gold collars, and that's what we need to teach our children. Not that we came shackled and powerless and
Like we
worthless.
said, it's more to us than slavery.
Absolutely.
We said that in one of the episodes. Like we touched that. Like
Yeah.
More to us than
it's
slavery.
way more.
What am
way
I?
more.
I'm the new day and age. Who?
Perry Tubman.
That's me, baby.
Okay, all
That's
right.
me.
You heard it here first.
Yes. And if
Yes.
I have to get through the Underground Railroad through educating my people financially, then hey, I'll create the financial wealth train. But we gonna get on it.
We own it. All about choo choo. She won
She done got crowned with the chip.
The pilots done rubbed off on her.
Yes, we ready. We are ready.
Yes.
We thank you all for this opportunity,
Oh,
for the
Thank
platform.
Woo, we
Well,
thank
hopefully
you.
come back, definitely.
Yes. Shoot. Wait, we're gonna go back and watch this. We always go back and watch. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, it's gonna be like a million more of these. But we wanted to gift you guys with something today.
Oh.
From the
Your
palace.
official palace.
Your
You got
official
palaces?
pinked.
Yeah.
You've been pinked.
Oh, that's so cute.
Palace.
They're pink by the pink.
That one's
palace.
hers. And I'm sorry if we got the sizes wrong, but
That's okay.
it's cotton, so you put it in the dryer, it'll sprinkle on it. You've been pinked.
Yes,
Right.
they're pink. These
That's
are
like our
adorable.
catchphrase we say at the end of each episode.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
we thank
We're gonna do a
you.
little photo shoot for y'all ladies.
Yes, and we will tag and snap pictures or anything that you guys need us to do to get the word out. Any other professionals that you guys are, want to network with, let me
Definitely,
know
definitely.
what some of your topics are, and I will get them to you.
Definitely.
Thank you to our
Yes.
first guest, Miss Adrian and Jamar.
Yes,
Did I say it right?
Yes,
Yeah.
she did.
Okay. I'm like, did I say it right? Like I was thinking of my name. Adrian and Jamar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Like I said,
We still excited.
I'm so
I'm still
excited.
ready to record, but I know we gotta cut it short. We don't want y'all to fall. We're gonna get them back here at the palace and talk a little bit more on some financial stuff. Hopefully we can set up something after hours. But you just watched two friends that are positive, yummy-licious, natural queens. And if you know like we know, you've just been pinked.
Yay.
If you have any financial or tax questions, reach out to the Henleys. Adrian Henley, 804-819-0158, and Jamar Henley, 804-283-2005. They will be gladly to assist you in becoming better financially stable. So stimulate your finances with the Henleys. You've heard it here at the Pink Palace.